This tonight and more is the New York Times White House correspondent Maggie Haberman, who is the author of Confidence Man, The Making of Donald Trump and the Breaking of America. And Maggie, it's great to have you here tonight. I just wonder what you are hearing and what you made about such intense reaction that there was today among the notion that there would even be a high-level conversation about what to do about how they've handled the Epstein saga here.
Yeah, so Caitlin, I'm not sure that this was supposed to be a dinner or if this was supposed to be just, a gathering to try to get Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, who, as you noted earlier, don't like each other, on the same page, or at least, in a better place together. I think it is clear and I'm not clear that this event happened, and if it happened at the vice president's residence either, but we'll know more in the coming hours and days. What I do know is that there has been a consistent effort to try to turn the page on the Epstein saga over the last week and a half, and it has dug deeper and deeper. Now, I think they do have a sense of what they are likely to do going forward. I think we are going to see some of Ghislaine Maxwell's interview, or maybe hear some of her interview with Todd Blanche. It's not clear to me how much it will be. It's not clear to me if that's all that we will hear from the administration in terms of the files, but they have clearly gone down a path that they're going to have to put more information out. I just don't know what that does when there are victims, as you note, who are, sure, it will let them say, look, we put things out, and maybe they will just stop answering questions about it. But one of the people keeping it alive, as we know, was President Trump, and victims who suffered and who are ostensibly the people that everyone involved in this is concerned about, saying they want files released and so forth, are very upset.
We had Jasmine Crockett here last night, a Democrat. She's the second Democrat in charge on House Oversight, or in line at House Oversight. And one point that she made was, if this transcript of what was said between Ghislaine Maxwell and Todd Blanche does come out, that is actually not even what the MAGA base really considers to be the Epstein files. This is something that just happened. The Epstein files is a whole trove of documents before that conversation with Ghislaine Maxwell. So I guess one question is also even if they do put out part of that or audio, if that will be seen as sufficient in MAGA's eyes.
Right. That's the $64 million question on all of this, is what exactly would set the bar, and at what point would people who support the president or have in the past but now think that he's involved in an alleged cover-up, at what point are they going to say, oh, actually, we have been shown that this, here's documentation that backs up what, the president's saying about who's in the files or who might not be in the files, and so forth and so on. I don't know when we reach that point. I just know we're not there yet.
What do you make of Trump's denials again today that he says he doesn't know what Todd Blanche and Ghislaine Maxwell discussed? He also said yesterday to me that he was not aware of Ghislaine Maxwell being moved, which is a pretty high-level move for the Justice Department to undertake without telling him beforehand. It kind of actually surprised me when he said he didn't know.
Yeah, I was surprised by it, is for all of the reasons you just said. It's certainly possible, but it's hard to believe given how closely this DOJ has been working with this White House and how many tabs people are being kept on activities that are happening related to this investigation. It would be a little hard to see Ghislaine Maxwell getting moved to this much lesser security prison facility without the President of the United States knowing.
To the soundbite that we heard at the beginning of the show of Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi talking about the Epstein documents and what they were going to release, given it was these senior officials who were helping and planting the seeds about there being a cover-up regarding Jeffrey Epstein, do you think they realize how far it's boomeranged, that now some of the victims and accusers and survivors are saying these same people are now also guilty of a cover-up?
Oh, I think they're very well aware that this has become problematic for them. I think that's been part of the issue for the last couple of weeks. Todd Blanche, Emil Bove, Pam Bondi did talk about the Epstein files, but Todd Blanche certainly did not make his career talking about the Epstein files. This has now engulfed all of them, but Dan Bongino and Kash Patel built up credibility with the base and built up followings talking about this, as you just showed. So I think they're very well aware of it. I just don't know what it means for the future. If no one in the administration is going to acknowledge the victims, which we really haven't heard them do so far. Caitlin, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not aware of any instance where they've spent a ton of time talking about that, other than that we don't want to release certain information that could hurt victims, but they haven't said much about the victims who are speaking out against this. If they keep ignoring it, then I'm assuming they believe it will go away, and maybe it will, but I don't think these women are going to stay quiet.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't seem that way. Maggie Haberman, as always, it's great to have your excellent insight and reporting here with us.
Thanks, Caitlin.
Also here tonight, my political, White House, and legal source.